Welcome to Local SEO Today. I'm Roger Murphy.
And I'm John Vaughn.
We want to welcome you to our edition here. We're talking to plumbers, basically the plumbing industry, John. Business owners are always looking for new customers. So we want to talk about marketing ideas, traditional, current, future, whatever. Let's talk about how we can help plumbers grow their business.
Yeah, so as a plumber, I mean, the biggest thing is you always have to replace your clients, right? People only need plumbers when there's an emergency, when they have an upgrade or addition that's being placed, or there's a drain problem, faucet problem.
It's always a problem.
There's always a problem. Anything to do with the water, right?
Yeah.
So, laundry, dishwasher, installation, whatever it may be, there's drips. There's always something that is needed and required by a plumber.
Exactly. And really, as a plumbing professional, you're a business owner, or maybe you're an entrepreneur just going to be starting your own business. You're watching and listening to us today because you need, how do I get in front of ready to buy customers? Where are they today? Traditionally, John, we should talk about traditionally what used to work well, how things have evolved, and where we are today in terms of this disruptive technologies out here, how to get in front of these customers.
Yeah, and what I want to talk about is, say, 15, 20 years ago, okay, there were only certain places that you can really advertise and have an effective way to get in front of people who are interested, right? So print media, there's many different forms of print media. There were the flyers, there's the value pack, there was directory advertising, say the yellow pages, there were magazines, there were local newspapers.
And the classifieds of the community newspapers, they had little sections in there for service guys. There were lots of ways that you could get your message out there.
And even community activity books. I know every city had like the community rec center.
Sure, yes.
Definitely advertise there. But print media, that's the scope of it. You put an ad there, when someone's kind of ready, they will call you, right? The only challenge is when you're doing flyer or you're doing magazines, it's that one time where you're pushing a kind of deal out there where you want them to take action. And you're giving up something in terms of like a 15%, 10% off service call or whatnot, and hopefully they need your service at that given time.
Exactly. And the challenge is you never know when someone needs your service, and that's the ultimate, because every business, certainly the plumbing industry, you've got a finite amount of marketing dollars. So where do you put them today that you can get the best return on your investment?
And ideally, back in the day, it was Yellow Pages, which had such a strong grasp of making sure that every household had that directory. Every single business was in that directory. And basically, when they were ready, when someone was needing a service, they would pick up that phone book, knowing that it's comprehensive, and they can pick and choose who they want to go with. Right?
So true.
So you were going after ready to buy customers 20 years ago in that printed directory. But today, fast forward, 10, 15 years from then, today is now digital. What has kind of replaced that is online directories, online search engines, but in particular, what we're going to talk about is Google and how it kind of replaced traditional media.
We feel at Local SEO Search that SEO is the most profitable way to promote your business. That is, getting your website highly ranked on Google. And the reason I say that, John, and we know, is that the statistics show that over 90% of consumers, whether it's a business to business or business looking for a plumber or a consumer looking for a plumber, they're looking for anything, over 90% of the public use Google as a search engine. Not even Bing or Yahoo, but Google. So if we know that and we see the statistics, then all you as a business owner in the plumbing industry, all you need to do is to say, okay, if I know Google is it, how do I get my share of the business from Google?
And it is pretty much replacing what Yellow Pages was, right? It's a comprehensive directory, business websites, right, of informational content, right? But what you need to do is figure out how you can cultivate that first page ranking.
Exactly.
Because what's happening is those people on that first page is getting 90% of the market share.
Exactly. So let's talk first page, or the home page, or the let's call it the search engine results page. It's also known as a SERP, S-E-R-P. But John, the search engine results page, every page, whether you're looking for a plumber, a lawyer, a drain guy, a lawn care, they all seem to have the same layout. So at the top, then we got a map, and down below. Let's talk about those different features.
Yeah, right at the top. I mean, in your industry, it's mainly emergency, right? And people will tend to need someone right at that spur of the moment.
Sure.
There's a toilet that's flooding. There's a bursted drain, bursted pipe somewhere in your house, and you need that resolved right away, right? AdWords may work very effectively in your situation, but what's happening is you're paying to play.
AdWords are at the very top.
Right at the top. So usually there's 3 or 4 different ads that when someone's looking for a keyword like emergency plumbing in your area, you can pay to play in that market, right? But the challenge is, you know, you're paying per click. Not everyone that's clicking is actually going to call you or deliver a lead, right?
And they're quite expensive, the clicks.
Yeah, so it all depends on how competitive that market is. And if it's hyper competitive, it's going to drive up the price.
And it should be mentioned, Google actually presets a suggested bid price. If you want to show up higher, the price, they say, we suggest this amount. And that amount you can use up at a lot of your budget very, very quickly, because it's not per customer, but it's per click. So if you get 100 clicks, all of a sudden your budget for the day or the month or the week could literally be gone. And all of a sudden you're kind of going, well, I got no customers or nothing's really happened yet, but I've still got the rest of the month to go. So in essence, it's a really expensive way to try and promote your business, hoping that someone's going to, after they click, pick up the phone and call you.
But it's also the fastest way to get in front of a lot of buyers, right? So I understand there's also a pro to it. If you don't want to invest in SEO, you want to be found right away and generate business, you can also stop and start it whenever you want. That's as well. So there's pros to AdWords. The challenge is if you're looking at renting space constantly, that's where advertising happens, right? But what we want to really focus on is below that, which is the 3-pack of Google on the map. And that's called local Google search engine optimization. And below that, the map is the organic section. So in there, you're going to see various websites, your competitors, as well as directories.
And it should be mentioned here, on that page, so you've got a map and you've got an organic or naturally occurring section, a selection of websites down below on the page. Then you got the ads at the top. If you ask 10 of your friends, 20 of your friends, majority will say, I do not click on ads. I don't like them. I go right past them. Some do, and I want to say this in the plumbing industry, especially emergencies, the AdWords do get used, and it does work for some plumbers. But you're only reaching a very, very small amount of the people actually searching. The bulk and the majority of people say, I like to look at the organic or the naturally occurring listings on that on that landing page.
Yeah, so how do you get there? How do you get found organically? And that's the biggest challenge, because you as a business owner, you might have invested thousands of dollars on a website. You might have been promised the world in terms of getting you that #1 coveted placement. But what happens is, what's Google really looking for?
That's right.
Right? Why are certain websites ranking well? What have they done to satisfy Google's intent?
Exactly.
And there's over 200 signals. So, you know, what are some of the things that Google's looking for? Right?
Sure. You're looking at the user experience, of course, of the site. It has to be easily crawlable by Google. It has to have fresh content. It has to have fast speed, load. And Google's even watching, John, it's what's called bounce rate. How quickly someone leaves your site. If they leave too quickly, that's a negative mark or a signal that Google would say, this website must not give the person searching what they're really looking for. So you want to make sure people stay on your site.
Yeah, and that's only on your website. There's other factors as well, which, such as links, getting inbound links from other sites, getting good reputation or reviews.
Reviews, sure.
That's a big factor as well, right? There's a lot of components, and you as an expert in the plumbing industry, you have to consider this whole industry of trying to get you marketed and advertised properly on Google as its own profession, right?
Exactly.
So, you as a business owner, what's the best use of your time? Really going out there and servicing your clients the best way you can.
As an analogy, as a plumbing expert, you've probably been to many houses where the hubby decided to try and fix something himself and really mess things up. It's the same in our world. We fix all the problems when we see business owners trying to do their own optimization. We instantly see there's 7 or 17 or 27 errors with the website that are actually hurting you right today. So same thing in your industry where you go in to fix problems that other people have messed things up. We are fixing things all the time ourselves.
And I think, that's a perfect example because I would go to Home Depot sometimes as a consultant
Yes.
and try to save a couple $100. But in reality, I'm, wasting my time
Yep.
where I could have saved a lot of time by just hiring someone,
Sure.
remedy the problem instead
Get it done the right time.
of making it last for a couple weeks,
That's
right?
right.
And having, significant other really...
Because you never do it in one trip. So you go, oh, I got the wrong part, oh, the wrong size. Then you go back and you say, the guy told me this or told me whatever, and it's all wrong. So time is money. You as a plumbing professional, you specialize in what you do. We take the focus off. You get to focus on your business. We focus on your website and all the criteria that will earn you that coveted page 1 status of Google.
And I hear this a lot as well from a lot of plumbing professionals where they rely strictly on word of mouth and referrals, right?
Yes.
And which is great, and that's a prime, that means you're doing something right.
Yes.
Right? People are actually recommending you.
Yes.
However, having a solid website is another touch point where people are actually checking you out to see if you're legitimate, if you're actually running a solid business, because images, a story, there's all these other components of why they choose you.
It should be mentioned too that referral business is the backbone of any business, but it's very, very difficult to grow your business just on referral. You need a steady stream of people who do not know of you today that want to get introduced to you so they can use your services. That's how you grow your business, scale your business, pay for your trucks and equipment and your staff, etc. You're investing to bring that revenue back in your business.
And you have to also remember what's your unique selling proposition. Who is your ideal customers? Is it residential? Is it property managers? Is it commercial, industrial? Figure out who you want to really target. Figure out if you want to be an expert at certain things, just do that and people will know you for that.
Exactly. Your website needs to have that content. So we do a great job here at Local SEO Search, but there's lots of good companies there. You need as a plumber to make sure that whoever manages or looks after your website understands your unique selling proposition. To your point, John, make sure that they stress, if you're a residential specialist, make sure that's stressed, not that you're industrial if you don't do industrial. Make sure it speaks the right and offers the right content and information about your business. Do you have a lot of trucks? Do you have emergency service? Do you have a guaranteed service time?
Are you insured, bonded, fully?
Exactly. Do you have flat rate pricing? Do you have X number of years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years of experience in the industry? Let people know why you should be chosen to do their work.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And then one last thing I do want to mention is reviews and reputation.
Oh, yes.
Right? So what I mean by that is 20 years ago, it used to be that reference letter.
Yes.
People brought to the table saying, this is what a customer actually, wrote for me after doing a great job.
Yeah.
Well, today, in today's world, third-party vendors such as Google, Facebook, Yelp, Yellow Pages, there's different sites out there in terms of directories, and they allow customers and users to actually write reviews.
Yes.
Even Homestars, Trusted Pros, etc. There's ways for you to actually check that out, and people are more likely to check reviews and make their own judgment before making that phone call.
Now, the question in your mind is, well, okay, how do I get more reviews? The trick, and it's not even a trick, you must run a good business. You've got to provide good service at a good price show, maybe you do damage-free work or you're extra clean so you don't leave a mess when you come in. All of that drives your customer who's just paid to have work done to go write that positive review. And then that, John, becomes social proof.
Exactly.
And then what happens? Other people read the reviews and they go, this company, they're clean, they're courteous, they're on time, they're a good price, all those criteria. That then allows someone else to feel confident in giving you a call.
And these are people that don't know you.
Exactly.
Right? If they know you, they're going to ask that friend or someone that referred you, right? But if they don't know who to use, they're going to rely on that social proof
Exactly.
to see if that's going to be a good fit for them, right?
And those reviews are, again, one of the 200 signals that Google's watching. They're looking at your reviews. They're looking at the quality of them. They're looking at, again, all the other content that's on your website. So you need a good company that can help you manage this, your reputation, manage all the technical aspects of your site, and that way you will get your website landing in front of those ready-to-buy customers, John.
Yeah, and give us a call here at Local SEO Search. We help plumbers in any industry, any market, really excel and generate the best return on investment. If they're planning on lasting for many, many years to come, then they want a steady stream of ready-to-buy customers, give us a call.
Super.
Roger or myself will pick up the phone and do a consult.
So thank you for your time, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you again at Local SEO Search.